Every morning, millions of older adults start their day with a vitamin pill. A small, simple, seemingly harmless act, even seen as a symbol of proactive healthcare. You take vitamin E because you hear it's good for your heart and skin. You choose vitamin A to improve your eyesight, vitamin B6 for more energy, to improve your memory. But have you ever wondered, are those pills, the ones you believe are prolonging your life, secretly shortening your ability to walk, shortening your freedom and independence? The scary thing is not the immediate effect. It's the accumulation, the way insidious symptoms like leg weakness, numbness, loss of balance start to creep in, and you blame it on aging. A slight misstep, a slow rise, a strange feeling of thigh fatigue. Small but real signs can be early signs of something bigger. The decline in motor strength does not come from old age, but from the very vitamins you believe are your saviors. In this video, we will clarify each familiar but dangerous vitamin, explaining why they are silently harming your legs, your bones, your nervous system, and most importantly, we will find out what you should do instead of continuing to swallow the thing that is silently weakening you. This is not fear, this is a necessary wake-up call. Before it is too late, let's step into the truth. Vitamin E was once hailed as a symbol of rejuvenation. It appears everywhere in advertisements, in the advice of friends, in articles about healthcare for the elderly, with promises good for the heart, antioxidant, beautifying the skin, protecting cells. Therefore, many elderly people have chosen the simplest way to maintain vitality, that is, supplementing vitamin E every day. But few people know that this seemingly harmless vitamin pill can be eroding your mobility, little by little. Little by little. Vitamin E belongs to the group of fat-soluble vitamins. Unlike vitamin C, which will be excreted in urine if there is excess, vitamin E is stored in the liver and fat tissue. That means that if you take it every day, especially at doses of 400 IU or more, which is common in supplements, the amount of this vitamin will gradually accumulate over time, and when it crosses the threshold, it starts to have the opposite effect. It affects neuromuscular function, hinders the transmission of signals between the brain and the muscles, and weakens the ability to control movement. This doesn't happen overnight, it comes on silently. One morning you find it harder to stand up. A quick turn makes you lose your balance. You get more tired when going to the market, less confident when going down the stairs. You think it's because of old age, but in fact, it's very possible that the cause is coming from the vitamin pill you take every morning. Not stopping there, high doses of vitamin E can also thin the blood, especially dangerous for older people who are taking anticoagulants. Just a small fall, a slight collision can lead to widespread bruising, prolonged bleeding, or even internal bleeding. When your legs are weak and your body is vulnerable, you can only live cautiously, withdraw, and lose the most precious thing, initiative. Worse, there are no obvious signs to tell you know early. There are no warnings from the pill, there are no instructions on the packaging that high doses can affect your ability to walk. People take it because they think they are doing something good, but sometimes, the thing we think is helping us live better is taking away what matters most. And that's just the beginning. If a vitamin can weaken your muscles and fool you into thinking it's natural aging, what vitamin A does is far more subtle and dangerous. Vitamin A has long been considered an essential nutrient for the eyes, a shield to protect the immune system, and a companion of healthy aging. For the elderly, vitamin A supplementation has almost become a default through multivitamins, cod liver oil, or fortified foods. But there is a dark side that few people talk about. When there is an excess, vitamin A not only loses its effectiveness, but also silently damages one of the biggest pillars of independence, the skeletal system. Like vitamin E, vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin. That means it is not easily eliminated. When you supplement continuously through pills and foods rich in vitamin A, the body will gradually store it in the liver, soft tissues, and begin to have effects that are difficult to detect on the outside. One of the most dangerous consequences of excess vitamin A is accelerated osteoporosis, especially in the thighs, hips, and legs, the areas primarily responsible for standing, walking, and maintaining balance. Many studies have shown that high levels of vitamin A over a long period of time are directly linked to reduced bone density, increased risk of fractures, even from a sudden sitting down, a slight slip in the shower, and the danger is that you won't feel your bones weakening day by day. No pain, no warning sound. Only when something happens, you know it's too late. Not only does vitamin A affect bones, it also affects muscles. Excess vitamin A makes it difficult for the body to maintain muscle mass in the thighs and hips, making each step heavier. You feel like it takes more effort to climb stairs. You start to limit your walking trips, refuse meetings because you're afraid of getting tired, afraid of falling, afraid of feeling unsteady. These symptoms are often equated with old age, but sometimes the culprit is something you've been taking to stay healthy. The danger of vitamin A lies not in sudden high doses, but in the silent accumulation over time. A multivitamin, a few spoonfuls of cod liver, a few fortified foods, and you're well over the limit. And the worst part is, no one warns you. No label says too much vitamin A can break your bones, no reminder to check how much you're actually getting. If a good vitamin like vitamin A can silently weaken your bones, lose muscle, and make your legs shake, what happens when a vitamin directly affects your nerves? That's the story of vitamin B6, the vitamin you think will make you feel better, but may actually be making you lose feeling in your legs. Unlike vitamin E or A, vitamin B6 is often mentioned with a positive image, increasing energy, improving memory, supporting metabolism. Many elderly people believe that taking B6 every day will help the mind become clearer, more alert, more flexible. But few people know that this vitamin, considered a nerve tonic, when overdosed, can cause serious damage to the peripheral nervous system, especially the nerves in the legs and feet. Vitamin B6 is water-soluble, but unlike other vitamins in the same group, it is not completely eliminated when there is excess. If you take high doses, over 100 mg per day, which is very common in many over-the-counter supplements, vitamin B6 will begin to accumulate and interfere with nerve transmission. The first effects do not come immediately, but once they start, they are almost irreversible. You will feel a strange feeling in the tips of your toes. A little tingling, prickling. It feels like you're standing on a pillow of cotton or fine sand. Gradually, the numbness spreads to your ankles and calves. You lose feeling in your feet, losing the ability to distinguish contact with the ground. Your steps become unsteady. You stumble when there is no obstacle. You feel like you're walking unevenly, as if you're walking on feet that aren't yours. This isn't simply old age, but a sign of peripheral nerve damage, often called peripheral neuropathy, of which high doses of vitamin B6 are a common cause. What's more dangerous is that once damage has occurred, stopping B6 supplementation does not guarantee recovery. There are people who, even after stopping taking the vitamin for a long time, still have to live with a persistent feeling of loss of balance and numbness because the nerves have been permanently damaged. This affects not only your ability to move, but also your confidence, your spirit, and your willingness to participate in daily life. You may start avoiding stairs, avoid walking, avoiding friends, just because of the fear of an unexpected fall. Losing the ability to feel your feet is not just a physical injury, it is a blow to your self-confidence, to the self-control you have built up all your life. The paradox here is, you take vitamin B6 to maintain your mental clarity, but if you overdose, it will make you lose the most obvious feeling, the feeling of standing firmly on the ground. And after talking enough about vitamins, 3 seemingly harmless names, but silently taking away the strength of your feet, we need to look at something even more dangerous than taking the wrong medicine. It is a familiar habit that most older people are guilty of every day, without even knowing it, which is sitting too much for too long, and chronic lack of exercise. The human body is designed to move, but as we age, the pace of life slows down. Activities that used to be done every day, climbing stairs, shopping, going out, are replaced by sitting in one place, in front of the TV, at the dinner table, or on the couch all afternoon. There are no warning signs that come up when you've been sitting for too long. No one tells you that, as you take fewer steps each day, your body is also losing flexibility, strength and balance. When you sit for long periods of time, important muscle groups in your legs, especially your thighs, glutes and knees, begin to atrophy due to lack of use. Bones lose their strength, leading to a loss of density. Your nervous system loses its ability to coordinate movement. Your blood circulation slows. Everything slows down, so quietly that you don't even notice it until something as simple as getting up from a chair becomes difficult. The irony is, you think you're resting, but in fact, your body is being drained of its strength. Your stability is being eroded, not by disease, but by a seemingly harmless habit: sitting too long, too often. No need to run, no need to hit the gym, just stand up regularly. Take a light walk every day, do simple movements like standing up, sitting down, standing on your toes, bending and stretching your knees. You are sending your body the message, I still want to move. Your legs will respond by becoming stronger, more stable, more coordinated, and that is the most important thing. No matter how many years you have lived, your body is always ready to change, as long as you take the initiative to wake it up, before inactivity becomes the default way of life. Knowing the truth is one thing, but knowing what to do next is the real turning point. Now that you understand the hidden risks of vitamins E, A, B6, and sedentary lifestyles, the most important thing is not to worry or regret. It is to take action, intelligently, calmly and proactively. First, take the time to review your medicine cabinet and daily supplement routine. What are you taking? Have you been taking vitamins E, A or B6 for years without asking your doctor? Is your dosage above the recommended level? Are you taking multivitamins combined with fish oil, fortified foods, etc., without paying attention to the total intake? Second, see a doctor who specializes in older people, not only for a general health checkup, but also for specific tests, such as blood vitamin levels, bone density assessment, neurological function tests. The numbers will tell you what your feelings may not, and best of all, you can make adjustments in time, before damage occurs. Third, prioritize nutritional supplementation through natural foods instead of abusing pills. Your body likes to be nourished by food, green vegetables, fruits, fish, whole grains, not by lifeless synthetics. Pills should only be supplements, when really necessary, not a fixed part of daily life. Finally, remember, you don't need more pills, you need more knowledge, more initiative, more faith in your own ability to change. And that change starts today, from the smallest thing.